What's up, YouTube? My name is Ty, financial professional. Welcome to my channel. Please like the video, please subscribe, and catch me every weekday after market close on the Smarter Gambling Show. So here is META, Meta Platforms. This finishes at $97.94 today. That is down 24.56%.
And it's gone.
So we haven't talked about Meta in a while here, but in the past year, this stock has been getting absolutely wrecked from the high of 354, now all the way down to below 100. And there's a reason as to why the stock went down so much today. We had news, earnings, and a bunch of price downgrades. So let's check that out. So EPS was $1.64, which missed the estimate of $1.85, and revenue was $27.71 billion, which beat the estimate of $27.4 billion. So actually the earnings were not that bad. So pretty average earnings here. And I don't know what the guidance is, but it says that it was below the estimates. So that's probably why the stock is selling off so hard. Bad guidance, which is really what Wall Street cares about. So we do have some news. I have a few articles from CNBC. Let's check that out. Meta shares plummet on weak fourth quarter forecast and earnings miss. Meta reported a second straight quarterly revenue decline and is forecasting another drop in the fourth quarter. The company's Reality Labs division, which houses its VR headsets, lost over $9 billion in the first 3 quarters. What the hell? The stock plunged in extended trading after already losing 2/3 of its value so far this year. And second article, Facebook used to be a big tech giant. Now Meta isn't even in the top 20 most valuable US companies. Last year, Facebook was among the 5 most valuable US companies with a market cap over $1 trillion. Now the company is worth about $270 billion. Meta forecast a third straight quarter of revenue declines on Wednesday, leaving CEO Mark Zuckerberg to thank investors who are still on board for their patience. The company is no longer in the top 20 in terms of market cap in the US. So Meta is investing heavily into the metaverse, billions and billions of dollars, and so far it has not worked out. Apparently their ad revenue is going down too. So Facebook having a really bad time. If it wasn't for their subsidiaries like Instagram and WhatsApp, they'd be in pretty bad shape right now. And in addition to that, we do have a lot of price downgrades from the hedge funds. Let's check that out. Goldman Sachs downgrades to 165, MKM 140, Stifel 185, Deutsche 125, Canaccord 200, Truist 160, JP Morgan 115, Bank of America 136, Rosenblatt 114, Raymond James 171, UBS 157, Guggenheim 125, Citi 168, Oppenheimer 140, Bernstein 135, Credit Suisse 145, Morgan Stanley 105, Cohen 135, Wolf 140, Susquehanna 140, Mizuho 160, Barclays 165, Piper Sandler 116, RBC 150, and Jefferies 155. So we have a pretty wide range of price targets here. So on the lower end, we have 105, and on the higher end, we have 200. But it appears like all of the hedge funds are still bullish, although they all pulled their money today. This was number 1 on StockTwits today, had over 18,000 mentions. So once again, we're going to analyze it. All right, let's jump right in. Let's go ahead and analyze here. So first of all, we have a cup and handle in the making. Can't really say where the bottom of the cup is because this is making lower lows, but there can be multiple possible tops. It can be 138, 142, 150, 162, or 170. And in the longer term, this is part of an even bigger cup and handle where this has the potential to come all the way back up to the high of 384. But those are all bullish indicators. That is telling us that the stock should come back up to one of those tops to complete the cup. We also have an inverse head and shoulders forming. A few days ago, back in the 120 range was where the first shoulder was. Down here today, at 98 is where the head is forming. So the next step would be for the second shoulder to form, and that would be a bullish indicator that is suggesting that the stock might break out to the upside. We do have a triple gap down. First gap down was created today at 129, so that's a bullish indicator. That is telling us that the stock should come back up to 129 to fill that gap. Second gap down was back at 167, so another bullish indicator that is telling us that the stock should come back up to 167 to fill this gap. And the third gap down was back at 317, so another bullish indicator that is telling us that the stock should come back up to 317 to fill this gap. The RSI, the relative strength index, is currently at 24, so this is pretty deep in oversold and undervalued territory. So the RSI is a bullish indicator that is telling us that the current price of $98 should be a lot higher. Down here on the MACD, the moving average convergence divergence, the MACD line has crossed the signal line to the downside. So that's a bearish indicator that is telling us that it may be time to sell. Here we had a descending channel forming where the upper channel is currently at 123 and the lower channel is currently at 110. So if this broke 123 to the upside, that'd be bullish. And if this broke 110 to the downside, that'd be bearish. So this was above 123. This was a bullish indicator. Unfortunately, after today's sell-off, it is now a bearish indicator. And if you guys want to follow along, the link to the chart is in the description. down below. So right now this is sitting on the support of $98, which it finished at today. So if this goes to the upside, next levels of resistance would be 103, 123, 125, 127, 128, 130, 131, 134, 135, 136, 138, 139, 142, 145, 146, 149, 150, 153, 155, 157, 159, 162, 164, 167, 169, 172, 174, 177, 179, 181, 184, 187, 191, 193, 195, 197, and then 200. There is resistance above 200, but we're not going to discuss that right now. And if this goes to the downside, next level of support would be 96.40. 96.40 is the 3-year low. I do not have support below that. So right now at the current price, $98, the channels to the upside and the downside are very wide, so expect significant price action either way this goes. However, if/when this breaks 123 to the upside, the channel starts to narrow, so expect a significant decrease in price action if/when this breaks 123 to the upside. And this did 231 million in volume today, which is the 3-year high, so very significant volume, way above the average of 27 million. So the sell-off today was confirmed by the volume. Okay guys, just my opinion, not financial advice. So once again, it's been a really rough year for this stock, and really for all of tech and the market in general. But it is Meta, blue chip value stock. It's not going anywhere. It's not going to go bankrupt. They made some smart investments in Instagram and WhatsApp. If it wasn't for that, they'd be in some trouble right now, and they do have a few other subsidiaries. So it just keeps on making lower lows. But at this point, the chart is starting to look extremely bullish in the short and long terms. Again, we have bullish indicators in the cup and handle, inverse head and shoulders, triple gap down, and RSI. And again, we have bearish indicators in the MACD and descending channel. So there are more bullish indicators than bearish indicators, and the bullish indicators appear to be very strong. So therefore, if you want to go long, not financial advice, looks like an excellent play to me. Maybe not just yet, because this is still selling off, but I would apply the 3-day rule here, which for everyone who doesn't know, is when a stock gets wrecked, you should probably wait a couple days before you decide to jump in and go long. But yeah, you really can't go too wrong here. Excellent entry, 3-year low at $98. Again, in the longer term, this should eventually come back up to $317 to fill the gap there. And from the current price of $98, that would be about a 225% upside potential. So massive upside potential here in the longer term. And it's difficult to say how low this may pull back because we don't have any more data to go off of, but this really shouldn't go too much more to the downside. This is getting a bit ridiculous. So I would say going long at the current price, $98 would be a low risk, very high reward play. Definitely worth a shot in my opinion. It's not going to happen overnight, but if you buy now and hold it for a few years, this will pay off. So I can't support going long at the current price, $98. And if it pulls back, then you can just average down. But yeah, this is an excellent buying opportunity. As a wise man once said, buy the effing dip. Now, if you want to go short, not financial advice, I would not do that, and I would not recommend that. For all the same reasons that going long is a good play right now, going short appears to be a really bad play. Again, a lot of strong bullish indicators, more bullish indicators than bearish indicators, 3-year low. Again, this should eventually come back up to $317 to fill the gap, which would be a 225% upside potential. And again, this really shouldn't go too much more to the downside. So I would say going short at the current price, $98, would be a very high risk, low reward play. Not worth it in my opinion. You should have went short literally anywhere from the $300 range down to about $150. And here at $98, it's a bit too late to go short. You missed your chance, and you're probably going to get burned. You'd be shorting for crumbs and exposing yourself to a massive amount of upside risk. So if you want to go short, please do that at your own risk. But I really don't see why to go short here. Doesn't make any sense. So I don't like the current entry of $98 on the short side. But I will say, if/when this does come back up to any of the gaps, those would probably be some good entries on the short side. Although personally, I would never short a blue chip value stock. But yeah, in summary guys, really bad year for Meta. Today's earnings did not help at all, but now would be a good time to buy the dip. Excellent buying opportunity here. And there's really no reason to go short. You missed your chance and you're probably going to get burned at this point. So sorry to everyone who lost money in the stock today, and good luck to everyone currently in the stock and to everyone looking to take a position. This is META, Meta Platforms. Thanks everyone for watching today. I appreciate you guys. Please like the video, please subscribe, and catch me every weekday after market close on the Smarter Gambling Show. I'm Ty. This is Smarter Gambling. See you guys tomorrow. Peace out.